You might think your struggle is about a lack of discipline or the perfect routine, but the real issue isn't what you're doing. It's what is defining your soul the moment you wake up. There is a hidden voice seizing control of your day, labeling everything as a burden before you've even left your bed. In the next few minutes, we're going to realign that inner voice and take back the authority to define how your day truly begins. Imagine a typical morning. You open your eyes, reach for your phone, and instantly, a flood of unfinished tasks and anxieties rushes in. Nothing bad has actually happened yet, but internally, you already feel heavy, dragged down by invisible pressures. You think the day is hard because the workload is heavy, but the truth is, your day was misdefined from within before it even started. It's being led by panic, not by peace. Today, we aren't talking about waking up earlier. We're talking about how to stop letting your emotions or your pressures speak first to your soul. You're going to learn how to position the right leading voice so you can walk with clarity and steadiness, no matter what hits you. If you've ever felt this immediate exhaustion, let me know in the comments. You are definitely not alone in this. So, before anything else, the first thing we must understand is how you are actually perceiving your new day. Most of us wake up and let our first feelings narrate the rest of our day. The second you open your eyes, you're already letting exhaustion, unfinished business from yesterday, or that never-ending to-do list label today as a burden. But hold on a second. Your day doesn't get to be defined by how you feel the moment you wake up. If you look at life through the lens of tiredness, everything ahead of you will just feel like a heavy race. But if you see this day under God's authority, you step into it with a completely different posture. Psalm 118 verse 24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it." See, rejoicing here isn't about forcing yourself to feel happy. It's a spiritual decision. It's about refusing to let your circumstances have the first word. You don't enter a new day based on what's waiting for you on your phone screen. You enter it based on what you allow to define it. A new day is never neutral. It's a space that belongs to God. Your heart needs to be positioned correctly from the very first minute to realize that. Don't let your fatigue lead you. Let His truth take the wheel. This recognition will completely change how you face pressure. But just seeing the day correctly isn't enough. The real question is, who actually has the right to speak into your soul first? The truth is, most of us don't start our day with a choice. We start with a reflex. The moment you wake up, your mind opens the door to a crowd of uninvited guests. Text notifications, negative news, unresolved pressures, or a frantic schedule screaming for your attention. When urgency is allowed to speak first, you might think you're being productive, but in reality, you're just being dragged. Whatever speaks first gets the right to interpret the rest of your day. If pressure speaks first, your day becomes a breathless chase. If anxiety speaks first, every opportunity looks like a threat. This is why Psalm 5 verse 3 reminds us, "In the morning, Lord, you hear my voice. In the morning, I lay my requests before you and wait expectantly." Let's be clear. Morning prayer isn't just checking off a spiritual box. It's an act of resetting your internal order. God first isn't a moral slogan. It's a decision about authority. It means you choose to let His voice set the foundation of your reality before the world floods your ears with noise. To wait expectantly isn't sitting still for a sign. It's living the entire day with a heart tuned to His frequency. Remember this. Your morning is never a vacuum. If God doesn't go first, something else will. But even when you've set the right voice first, there's a deeper issue. Are you seeking guidance through the pressure of a servant or through the relationship of a child? At this point, you might be thinking, okay, so I just need to wake up earlier and pray before I grab my phone, right? But the truth is much more intense than that. This isn't just a lesson on morning discipline or time management. This is a battle for the formation of your inner self. You can put God first on your schedule and still walk out the door in total fear. You can read your Bible every morning, yet your heart is still trembling from financial pressure or the judgment of others. The issue isn't just the order of your morning routine. It's the motive deep inside. There is a very thin line between seeking God's guidance because you trust Him and seeking Him only because you're panicking. If you seek God out of fear, all you'll hear are demands. But if you seek Him out of trust, you'll find a relationship. Don't mistake a religious ritual for an anchored soul. How do you know if you're truly walking in His guidance, or if you're just using religion to soothe your own anxiety? The truth is, many times we aren't actually looking for God's guidance. We're just looking for a quick sense of relief to escape our anxiety. When your heart is restless, you often crave an answer for your path more than you crave intimacy with Him. You want to know where to go just to stop the fear, instead of letting Him steady your heart first. But be careful. A soul that isn't anchored in God's love is prone to mistaking the urgency of fear for the leading of the Spirit. Have you ever felt the need to quit a job immediately because of a temporary pressure, and then convinced yourself that God is opening a door? That might not be His voice. That might just be your fear looking for an exit. Psalm 143, verse 8 cries out, "Let the morning bring me word of your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I entrust my soul." Notice the order. His unfailing love comes before the way is shown. Trust isn't the prize you get after the direction becomes clear. Trust must be present while everything is still blurry. Divine guidance doesn't work like a mechanical blueprint. It's a rhythm of companionship, of gradual adjustments and confirmations. Many of our wrong turns don't come from rebellion. They come from moving too fast when our hearts haven't yet found rest in Him. A person led by God isn't someone who sees every turn ahead. It's someone who is quiet enough to hear His voice over the noise of panic. And when the direction isn't clear yet, where you run to feel safe will reveal what is truly holding your soul. When pressure hits, where does your soul run before your mind can even process a response? The truth is, some days the weight of life crushes you before you've even left your bed. By reflex, we scramble for shelter in man-made fortresses, hyper-productivity to drown out fear, digital distractions to escape reality, or the illusion of control through overthinking. But these are not refuges. They are traps. A real refuge isn't something that makes you forget the storm. It's the place that keeps you standing while the storm is still raging. Psalm 46 verse 1 declares, "God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble." Look closely at these three layers. He is your refuge, the place you run when threatened, your strength, the power that carries you when you are spent, and your ever-present help, a presence that is never, ever late. Peace doesn't come from your circumstances getting easier. It comes from having someone greater than your circumstances holding your heart. Before panic has a chance to grow, you must know where you stand. What makes you unshakable isn't avoiding the pressure, it's refusing to let the pressure define who you are. But even when you've found the right refuge, there's an even deeper question. What is actually feeding that inner hunger of yours every morning? Once your mind is aligned, the remaining force driving you is the hunger of your heart. Have you ever wondered why a single cold remark can ruin your mood, or why you feel the need to overwork just to feel valid? The truth is, many people enter their day not from a place of fullness, but from a void. And when the heart isn't filled early on, it begins to bargain with the entire day just to feel like enough. It starts begging for recognition from a boss, praise from social media, or measurable success just to quiet its own insecurity. But these are just hollow substitutes. If your soul isn't touched by God's unfailing love in the morning, you become vulnerable to comparison and resentment. You don't work out of a calling, you work to prove your worth. Psalm 90 verse 14 cries out, "Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for joy and be glad all our day." Satisfaction in God isn't some abstract moral concept. It is the state of being that stops your soul from living in a constant state of craving. It liberates you from having to borrow your value from everything else. When you are fed by His mercy, you no longer need the world to applaud you to feel alive. Mourning isn't just about asking for guidance or protection. It's about making sure your soul is eating from the right source. When your day is read correctly, the authority is right, your refuge is secure, and your desire is satisfied. Only then are you truly ready to walk. Ultimately, your day doesn't truly begin when things start happening. It begins with how your heart is positioned from the very start. If the first voice you listen to is panic, your entire day will be pulled off course. But when the leading voice of your soul is His truth, you can face any pressure with an unshakable steadiness. If you are still here, it's because you refuse to let pressure define your life. You are someone who wants God's voice to come first, not last. We're walking this journey together, one step at a time, never rushing, but always in the right direction. Tomorrow morning, which voice will you allow to define your day? I'd truly love to hear about your journey or any small shifts you're making in the comments below. If you want to continue cultivating this inner clarity and growth, stay with us as we move forward together. Remember, you don't enter this day alone. He is already there, holding your heart steady.